Jubilee, Dean Withers, Jubilee. Can Dean Withers survive 20 MAGA women?
I think that we need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk.
Hey, yo, what the Come on, man. Come on, dude.
Trump doesn't have to be a sexual predator. Any woman would love to be with Trump.
What the Yo! Dude, come on, dude. Come on, dude. What? Oh my God. This is amazing. Okay, wow. Okay, Jube, you done did it again. Okay, the Jube blockade is lifted.
Has Donald Trump been a good president for women, or has America moved backward?
I think that's, you're posing that as a question that could go in either direction, but no, there's only one answer to that. It's the second thing. As a matter of fact, you're literally doing that debate right now. That is the debate. That's the premise of this video, is that exact debate.
I'm a 21-year-old liberal. I do political debate for a living. And today, I'm surrounded by 20 Trump supporters. But this time, they're all women.
Damn, I should have done this. I would have done this.
Claim is,
dude, this is a woke nuke. Is this what the f***'s going on the TikTok debates sphere? Is this the type of timing they're on?
I'd like you to define what a woman is.
Well, sure. I think that the definition of what a woman is ultimately irrelevant to this debate, and I'm willing to assume I'm willing to pre-assume your definition of what a woman is, i.e. an adult human female. See, if I were to give you my definition of what a woman is, an adult human individual that pertains to the social and cultural characteristics typical that of a female sex.
Bro, we are never getting a revolution in this country, okay? I don't even know if we're getting healthcare. I think we just lost more healthcare if this is what the youth, if this is the timing that the youth are on, where they're just like, I mean, he's not wrong, but it's like crazy that this is the point of contention. What the And it's funny because he's trying to like speed through the process. He's like, yes, this is what a woman is for me, but I'll take your word for it.
Index to their gender identity. Well, then all of a sudden we're going to be speaking past one another because we define the word woman differently.
Isn't this your shit? Who thinks I do this? I told this man not to be so invested in the debate lord sphere and to like do some reading, and a lot of people it's crazy that people think this is what I do. I mean, I said I would love to do this. I probably wouldn't do it like this, but
exactly.
So I'm more than happy to pre-assume your definition.
In the first place is kind of silly because you don't know what a woman is.
Well, I just told you what my definition.
How would you answer the question? It doesn't matter. We'll go with whatever you think and we'll continue the conversation that way. This is 2020 TikTok. He did say that. He just said it in the most debate lord way possible.
You know what? I think it would also depend on what leadership role that person would take. For instance, if you wanted Kamala Harris, who you voted for, to be the president of the United States, we have a problem with that. And I'll tell you why. It's not necessarily the woman, but it is.
This is also part of the reason why it's impossible to have these sorts of like real debates, because these guys don't have any investment in a mutual understanding. They don't have any consensus reality. And also no interest in actually talking to a person.
Necessarily foreign countries, for instance, the Middle East. If I go to a Middle East country as a woman, I can't show my hair at risk of being stoned.
Why are we talking about Middle Eastern countries when the prompt is men are not better at leading than women?
Because you're asking about leading. You voted for Kamala Harris. I think she would have been a horrible leader.
The whole point that all they want to do, the entire practice here is to just occupy space and occupy time. It's crazy. I don't even think they're capable of agreeing or disagreeing with other human beings at this point. Conservatives just go on there and they're just like, well, you voted for Kamala and she's a woman and she's bad. It's like, okay, that's interesting. That's the point. That's the way you're going to address this point, because we're talking about a much broader point here. I don't know why you're using Kamala.
Foreign countries don't always see women as respectful as they see a man. A woman.
What the fuck? What is that argument, dude? First of all, I want to know which country, okay? Because almost every other foreign country, including Muslim ones like Turkey or Pakistan, have had female heads of state many, many decades before we ever got one, and we still haven't gotten one. So the idea that this would be, first of all, the idea that like, foreign country leaders don't respect women, so they won't respect our leadership if she is a woman, fucking insane. You know what they do respect? The American nuclear arsenal. That's what they respect. It doesn't matter if it's a woman in charge of the nuclear arsenal or a man. It's so stupid.
Leading this country, for instance, when you go to doing foreign policy and all of those things, they would not have the respect that a man would.
Also, one of the best leaders all around the globe right now is a woman, Claudia Sheinbaum.
I can also say as a woman, depending on your age, if I've got PMS, honey, I'm going to make different decisions than I would.
Donald Trump is literally one entire PMS situation. His entire presidency is like the most emotional, like what you would associate with like, going through PMS or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, out of all of the Republican leaders of the past and present that you could point to, Donald Trump is the one that you can't point to at all when talking about a guy who's not hysterical all the time. Also, it is not lost on me that right-wing women so quickly go for the maximalist misogynistic talking points and just undermine themselves. Dean is too woke for this conversation. I'd be fucking being like, all right, well, why are we having a conversation then?
3, 2, 1.
Okay, women are so much more respectful, by the way. When this is like all guys, they're all fucking running to the chair. Shout out women, okay? Point one to women.
I'm going to give the mic to you. Why don't you tell us all why men are better at leading than women?
Men are better at leading because as a woman, I can tell you that we're emotionally manipulated very easy. We tend to be compassionate because
I guess there's no other way to make this argument other than to be like, I ain't shit and I deserve less. Like, how do you make that argument as a woman? You have to sit there and be like, yeah, I suck. Dean, let me tell you, okay? I suck. I shouldn't be leading anything. I'm horrible. And the real double bind, if Dean wins the debate, technically, she was correct. That's right. Dean, you got to take an L on this, buddy. You have to. You have to do it for women.
Why do you think that men are better at leading than women?
How about I know that men lead better than women because women have the babies, you're emotional.
Wow, everyone's argument is the same. What the fuck is this? Jesus Christ, dude. Wow.
3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Lip.
Your name's Julie?
Bro, that's crazy. No one gets up. No one gets up. What the hell's going
Julia
on?
Kate. So I want to ask you, inherent
Stop!
in your statement that men are not better leaders than women.
No.
There's the sense that you believe men and women are different, correct?
I think that there's obviously distinctions between men and women, or else we wouldn't have two different words to refer to two different
Okay,
groups.
so what are some of the distinctions?
Well, I mean, there's distinctions in the sense of cultural and social attitudes and behaviors. There's going to be that are, of course,
Women be shopping. I mean, that literally is actually, there's empirical data to suggest that women, as a matter of fact, indeed do be shopping. 85% of all household consumer purchase decisions are made by the woman in the household. And therefore, women do be shopping. It's actually not men that are being shopping.
innate to men and women because
So
I
you
don't
don't
think that
believe in innate
prescriptive. I don't think that prescriptive gender norms exist.
What else? Women eat hot chip, lie, don't charge their phone, and be bisexual.
Now, like from your perspective, that we were to define the genders on the basis of sex, of course, then there's going to be sexual dimorphism and there's going to be differences present within that. Of course, like there's a plethora of differences. Listen,
I can't understand why you're like pouring this much empirical data to why, men aren't better at leading than women. I don't know who this is for. I guess there is a market for this kind of thing where people are like, no, I want to make sure that like the data is before I make this assumption, are men better than women at leading, or are women better than men, or are they equally competent and incompetent at times at leading? I need to see the empirical evidence.
I'm not denying that there are differences between men and women because once
Differences
again,
biologically
if there
differences.
wasn't differences between men and women, well, then we wouldn't have two distinct groups.
Okay, so we agree
But
on that.
my claim is I don't think that any of the differences that exist between men and women would amount to being relevant to justify the claim that men are better at leading than women.
I'm 18 and this is amazing. Oh no, all the Zoomers are learning about politics from this kind of marketplace of ideas type of back and forth.
Do you
I'll
think
actually
women are
ask
better at leading than men?
No, I actually think that gender is completely irrelevant to the
Interchangeable is
prospects.
what you're.
Yeah, isn't a man out debating women about women being better leaders than men prove their points that men are better at leading than women? Yeah, I made that joke earlier. Yes. That's why Dean needed to take a fucking L here. And then at the end, after he took the L in the debate, he would have been like, you've defeated me thoroughly, and therefore you've actually lost the ultimate argument.
Of if somebody is better at leading than the other person. I ultimately think that there's going to be no determinative ability, regardless if we're making the claim that men are better at leading than women or women are better at leading than men, to ever make that
Okay,
prescriptive
so what
claim.
I'm hearing is that men and women are essentially interchangeable in your mind.
Well, in my mind, once again, I just don't
Just
believe
yes or
in
no.
I mean, it depends. It depends. On a leadership role, yes, interchangeable. It doesn't fucking matter. There are women that are objectively better than men at leading. And then there are some men that are objectively better than some women at leading. It's just that fucking doesn't matter. Like, this kind of argumentation is so stupid. It's like, okay, you have a guy, didn't go to medical school, and then you have a gal who did, okay? Someone is going to do open heart surgery. Do you want the actual professional medical doctor, the woman, to perform the open heart surgery, or do you want the guy to do it? If the answer is you want the guy to do it, then you're a fucking idiot. Like this kind of argument is so dumb. These sorts of like broad generalizations are so unbelievably stupid.
I think that ultimately one's gender is irrelevant to
can I
their
ask you a
leadership
question?
capabilities. If you can tell me what are the relevant differences between men and women
Yes.
that make men better at leading than women?
Yes, we can go back to the hunter and gatherers when men were the ones going out to hunt and women were the ones staying with the children and gathering fruits and nuts.
The fuck? Let's go back to a time where there was no electricity. That's what you're doing? What the fuck does that have to do with anything now? That's crazy. Well, actually, Hassan, it's okay when you actually refer to primitive communism in your analysis of historical materialist analysis, but all of a sudden you have an issue when we're talking about gender roles. I'm just debate lording myself now. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me.
Why is it that in today's, even our influencer community, we have more women that are drawn towards beauty, makeup, things like family, schooling, and men are more drawn towards traditionally masculine things? It's innate in every culture that you see this trend.
There's literally not true. There are currently existing matriarchal societies, like right now on the planet, okay? And not even just like tribal societies or anything like that. There have always existed matriarchal societies throughout different cultures, throughout different time periods. You're just objectively wrong. The idea that like all leadership roles automatically go to men is just wrong.
You as a man do not know what it's like to have a cycle, to have a period, to have your hormones.
Oh my God, she's doing standpoint epistemology to describe why women ain't shit. What is going on, man? Oh my God. She's outwoking the woke lord in the most anti-woke direction. First of all, Zoomers all need to go to school, okay? It didn't take. We got to do a no child left behind, and then just like revamp that in its entirety and make you go back to school because it didn't take at all.
Go up and down.
Yeah.
That is insanely significant for a woman's ability to lead. And women will complain about being scared to walk on the streets at night, and yet they'll elect the same politicians that release the criminals on the street.
Do you think that women should lose the right to vote?
I think that I'm not talking about that today.
Oh, this is entertaining. Oh my God, this got to be extra maddening if you're watching this as a woman. You're like, what the fuck?
You just gotta get a quick yes or no, then go
I
back to the
think that
topic.
we need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk, who
Oh,
will
Jesus.
have secure borders, who will not let criminals
Did you
on the
just
street.
unironically say strong alpha males?
Strong alpha males, yeah.
Bro, get a grip. Stand up.
You
Listen.
bro, get a grip. You're a man. You want to mansplain to me?
Well, I mean, actually,
Oh my gosh, she's doing it again. She's doing it again. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's deploying woke. I would have lost my mind at that point. I would have fucking lost my composure. If I'm debating a woman about how women ain't shit and then they hit me with this woke nonsense, the fuck do you mean? Are you mansplaining? Yes, I am actually. Okay. Yes. You can't, on the one hand, argue that women ain't shit. And yes, a man should mansplain in your perfect design of society and then use mansplaining as a negative in the same breath. You can't do both of those things at the same time. It makes no sense.
you just said that men are better at leading than women,
I
so you
do.
should listen to every word that
I
comes out
am
of my mouth
listening.
per your perspective, right? So if you think that men are the strong alpha
Wait, no, never mind. Actually, she was literally saying, please mansplain to me. Because she literally stopped talking after he said yes. Like no man is the same as one another and no woman is the same as one another. There's going to be overqualified women and underqualified men and vice versa. So it doesn't matter. It's entirely related to life experiences, educational attainment, experiences in the workplace. That's all that matters. That's why I brought up the point of like a doctor who is going to perform open heart surgery. The doctor is a woman as opposed to a guy who went to Phoenix University. Okay. Phoenix Online College, doesn't have a medical degree whatsoever. Who do you choose in that situation? Obviously you choose the woman. Only an insane person would try to say, oh, the man with no qualifications whatsoever for open heart surgery, because that's what matters at the end of the day. And we all make these decisions. No matter how fucking silly we behave. Bro, chill. You went to Rutgers. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Do we got some Phoenix graduates in the chat that got mad? Really? We're putting Phoenix and Rutgers in the same fucking category as the #1 philosophy school on the planet, I think, or used to.